G'day guys and gal, it's not a grand reveal that I like Warhammer quite a fair bit, and not just because it's the basis for my lucrative career. A lot of people wonder why Warhammer fans seem to be so much more dedicated and loyal than other fandoms. Sure, Halo might have a higher player count whenever it launches a new game than Warhammer has ever had, but after the hype it fades into the abyss. To be honest, it's the same shit with Star Wars. Why is that? What is it about Warhammer that tickles grown men's G-spots and gets them to invest thousands of dollars and hours into playing with small plastic toys? Why do I love Warhammer? Continuing this theme of a more upbeat, positive video, I wanted to quickly shout out the creator of the SFO mod for Total War Warhammer, Venrus, and his upcoming video game, Whispers of the Eyeless. This isn't sponsored or paid. Venrus is my friend and one of the hardest working guys I know, so I thought I'd give him a hand. Whispers of the Eyeless is an upcoming adventure RPG, where your choices affect the story, gameplay, and those around you. While you're causing havoc or lending a hand, you can create a cult dedicated to the old gods, where you can do some pretty unethical shit. Honestly, the scope and complexity of the game is very impressive. If you have played the SFO mod, you will know the attention to detail that Venrus has. So if you're interested in supporting the development, then the Whispers of the Eyeless Patreon is now live, link in description. I think this game will be awesome, so I'm happy to share it. Today I want to talk about why Warhammer slaps so much harder than every other sci-fi setting, why it continues to stand the test of time and improve where others seem to be faltering. I'll also talk about why I personally love the setting and am able to spend like 90% of my waking hours immersed in it, without ever getting bored or burnt out. Let's get into it. Some people are going to disagree with me here, but some people can suck my balls. Something amazing about Warhammer is that you really don't need to invest anything to be a genuine Warhammer fan. I know a lot of you guys just watch lore videos and that's it, but that's all you really need to do. You don't need to watch movies, buy models, or play the tabletop to be an integral part of the Warhammer community. The other side of the coin is that Warhammer is so fucking deep that you can then progress to reading hundreds of books and buying and painting your own army. From the guy who wins an international Warhammer tournament to the guy that casually watches Warhammer lore videos here and there, you are both genuine and valued members of the fandom. I want to probably start with why Warhammer slaps so much harder than other sci-fi settings. Although it's marketed as grimdark and whatnot, Warhammer actually has something for everyone, like literally everyone. The Inquisition series is an adventurous tale of detectives solving mind-bending cases and saving the day, without much feature of Space Marines at all. Caiaphas Cain is a noble, bright tale of a dashing hero saving the day and getting the girl. The Night Lords trilogy is about evil men trying to survive in a galaxy that hates them, yet you somehow end up rooting for them. The Infinite and the Divine is just pure comedy. Sure, Warhammer is grimdark, but it's also romantic, comedic, heroic, tragic, and at times completely horrifying. There are dozens of standalone stories in the setting that you can pick and choose depending what you like. The Caiaphas Cain books feel extremely different to the Night Lords books. Compare that to something like Star Wars, where every plotline and character has a Star Wars filter put on top of them to fit some pretty PG guidelines. And unfortunately, that Star Wars filter often isn't great. It's pretty shallow and it stunts creativity. Even The Mandalorian, Star Wars' current golden goose, has become a monotonous, predictable, and shallow piece of eye candy. My favorite Star Wars media is Rogue One, Solo, and I heard Andor is great. All three of those were like the least Star Wars things ever created. The only reason why Star Wars is so much bigger than Warhammer is the awesome original trilogy, and the fact that Warhammer can be a very intimidating setting to get into with how vast it is. But Warhammer not being that huge or mainstream yet has actually been an overall boon. Games Workshop has been very adamant on protecting their IP, most notably their canon IP. This has potentially stunted Warhammer's mass growth, but also protected from the stupid shit that happened to Halo. First, Halo was transferred from one studio to another, a studio that then has completely killed it in the wrong way, but then the TV show has been an absolute embarrassment. People who obviously didn't give a fuck about Halo creating a sci-fi show using Halo's characters and IP to bring in more people. No, I don't want to see Master Chief fuck some bitch, and I don't want to see his fucking face in the first season, or ever. They should have made the show about a different Spartan squad that could feature Chief in a few episodes, so in that way any wacky shit they did doesn't completely shit on established lore and canon. Warhammer isn't gonna have that issue. It's taken decades to finally sign a live-action TV show deal, and they're doing it with Amazon, a high-budget streaming service that is known for allowing full creative control for the writers and directors. And it's been produced by Henry fucking Cavill, a huge Warhammer fan and an amazing actor, not to mention someone who actively speaks out against messing with established lore. Last I heard, they're also bringing in Ana de Armas, which, you know, she's literally my hall pass. I think I would actually sacrifice like 100 infidels to suck her toes. Our patience looks like it will be rewarded. Now, I do want to talk a bit about my own experience and love for Warhammer. I've always had a super active imagination. I always got extremely immersed in fictional settings and characters, but would be disappointed when I finished a series of books or media only to realize that was it. I had reached the bottom of the rabbit hole. Halo, Harry Potter, fucking Del Toro's Quest. They couldn't slate my nerdy hunger. But Warhammer could, and in spectacular fashion. The fact that the Inquisition series, so far numbering 9 long-ass books, is a side thing that has little bearing on the overall narrative is fucking wild to me. That is more books than the Harry Potter series as a fucking side quest. Not only that, but Warhammer books aren't really hit or miss. Sure, there are better and worser ones, but they are all well written and immersive, with Games Workshop commissioning some god-tier people to read out the audiobooks. I've also somewhat recently become immersed in the painting side of the hobby, and that has genuinely been one of the best things I've gotten into in my life. I've basically dumped all the time I would spend on shitty repetitive games into painting the minis, getting me off the computer screen and allowing me to learn an awesome new skill, not to mention the insane amounts of satisfaction I get from finishing models and being proud of my work. It actually makes me feel like a kid again. As I work on my videos and I'm like, fuck yeah, I get to try that hectic new painting technique when I finish this, and it makes me even more productive because the sooner I finish the video, the sooner that my custodies can get ready to fuck shit up. I remember when I was first getting into Warhammer, I felt a little bit insecure about it. You know the stereotype, super nerds, Warhammer is gay, for virgins, etc, etc. But since I've become more confident in myself and my love of Warhammer, there's actually been a big shift. I just own that shit now. People ask what I do. I say I make YouTube videos for Warhammer lore, and that it's fucking dope. Then I show them my models, and they actually go, wait, that's actually pretty cool. How'd you paint that? When I acted insecure about my love of Warhammer, people would sense that. When I acted confident about it, people would sense that as well. Moral of the story, Warhammer is awesome and I tell everyone about it. So I've spoken about the diversity of Warhammer and its themes, and my own personal enjoyment. But what about its actual quality? After all, just because something is diverse doesn't automatically make it good. The best thing about Warhammer is that it doesn't have this filter, forcing writers to curb their skill and hit a certain quota. Each Warhammer book feels new and different in a good way. I'm just over halfway through the Horus Heresy, one of the longest book series ever created, and each book has a new flavor that distinguishes it from the rest. Some are very intense and violent, some are depressing, some are hopeful and glorious, whilst others are tragic. The writers are able to lean hard into their own styles and excel in them because they aren't forced to keep a certain level of darkness throughout their books. Some books have people swearing, some don't. Some books reference sexual violence, others feature deep romance. It doesn't pull punches, however, if there was one thing that united them, it's just how over the top shit is, while still somehow remaining grounded and not sounding silly. You want to travel faster than light? Okay. Open a portal to hell and fly through it to shortcut across the galaxy. Just be careful to not let your Gellerfields fail, otherwise your entire crew will get horrifically butchered by demons. Oh, you got wounded in battle and are now more or less a vegetable. Let's put you in a mobile weapons platform and make you one of the most powerful assets of war. What's that? You're an evil piece of shit? Okay, let's lobotomize you and turn you into a cyborg slave. After all, it's not a pesky AI if the brain is human. It doesn't shy away or censor itself, but it also doesn't try too hard, or at least not often enough to become obnoxious. The crazy thing about it all is that despite literally spending thousands and thousands of hours researching Warhammer lore, I'm still miles off knowing it all. The rabbit hole is never ending, which is so exciting. I just basically wanted to have a bit of a wholesome rant about the setting, and yeah, check out Venris's Whisper of the Eyeless Patreon if you want to support his project. Peace.